friends, I'm back. I am back, and I am excited, and I hope that you are too. Took a little extra time to get everything ready, but I think you're going to like what I've come up to share with you. And so let me walk you through it, give you a kind of an overview, and show you. I thought if I do it this way, I might be able to. So here's a shawl from Melissa Leekman's Knitting Modular book. Here it is. I'll give you more information in just a minute, but let's just take a look. I didn't quite make it for Valentine's Day, but look. Sending kisses. There's some chocolate kisses for you. But here is the beautiful, beautiful kind of fuchsia color shawl. I'm going to back up a little bit so that you can see it. Go down, back up, come in. Now let's see what I can do to show you a little bit as the back kind of looks through. Okay, now I'm going to turn it around, so hold on. Okay, so I'm back, and I wanted to show you how pretty it looks on the back. And I'm going to, like I said, take it step by step. And of course, guess what? We are working off the charts. We're knitting off the charts. Pull in so you can see some of the simple but pretty. And of course, I hope you give this a try. Now, let's go to the counter and let me give you just a little information. I thought I'd try to see if I could get a shot more like this. A lot of times when I'm over on the other side, everything is covering up the bottom of the shawl and I can never get it in. So, tell me what you think. All right. Back in just a moment with my new shawl from Melissa Leekman's Knitting Modular book, and we're knitting off the charts. All right, so real quick, you saw the shawl, and you saw pictures of it, and you'll see it as we knit along. But here's the book. This book I got a few years ago, and it was in my stash. Lost it, found it again, decided to, hey, I bought the book, I paid for it, but I've really never gotten anything out of it. Decided to give it a second look, and I came up and realized I could just simply modify some of the, instead of using her designs, they're much larger and too large for me, that I can simply modify and just make something more wearable and doable, and, that would fit me. And I hope it will fit you and that you'll like it too. So it is Melissa Leekman's Knitting Modular, and we are going to work. This book is one good thing about this book. Move Bird back a little bit. Okay. It has the written instructions, but it is also charted. And that's when I decided, you know what? If not now, when? I decided, you know what? I am going full out, and we're going to work from charts. And that's when I decided to really get into just sharing for those who would like to. And why this book works so well, if you say, well, I don't know, Jay, I can't quite understand the charts yet. It's written out. But that would have just, it's a lot easier once you learn just the simple charts. And these are simple charts. Like I say, I'm not a professional, or teacher or anything. I'm just a seasoned knitter, and I know that I can read, basic charts. And I thought it would be fun to grow my skills and help you to grow yours too. So this is chart 32, excuse me. This is chart 32. And doesn't really have a name. Like I said, she has them by number, but if you bought the book if you get the book on Amazon, and I've got a link that I will link that you can get it off Amazon. But you can see I've reviewed the book, and we've looked at it several times. But you can see the massiveness of these shawls. Well, people, that just wasn't going to work for me. But like I said, I paid for the book, so I figured out a way to get some enjoyment out of it. And I hope you do too. I wouldn't want you to buy it and then you just, put it up on a shelf somewhere. All right, so we're working chart 32. Now let me bring your chart over because I want to get you, I'm going to give you a good screenshot of the chart too, but I also want to get you, remind you how to prepare your chart, how to look at and prepare your charts to start working. So let me move that over just a little bit more. Oops, I hit the camera, sorry. Oh, you gotta be able to multitask. All right, so here's the chart, and as you can see, we have a really clean, pretty clean chart. When there's a lot of white boxes, I call them clean. When, in other words, every square is not, it's not filled up. So in this, on her charts, all the pattern is worked on the right side. So that's on this side. All these numbers here represent the right side of the work. The numbers over here represent the wrong side of the work. On her charts, all the wrong side, we simply purl back. Makes it so much easier than, now there are some that have patterns, but I'm saying for the most part, or for this one, we simply purl back. There's no pattern really to work or worry about. She gives you a nice key symbol down here. Remember, you should always check every designer's key or legend or symbol page when you're working their work. Most people use universal symbols, but sometimes they'll throw in their own or change them up, change them around to fit what they're trying to convey to you. All right. And of course, we'll, like I said, we start down here at 5. Row 5 is where the garter tab, my 5-ridge garter tab video will bring you up to row 5. And I'm going to link it over in the comments because you have to start there. That way I didn't have to do it every time. I just simply say, I'll meet you at row 5 whenever we work these charts. Now I have some that are coming up. It's going to be different. Oh my gosh, got some new ones. So then we work all the way up to the very last row, row 32. We purl, and then when we come back down, the written instructions, and you can tell by the box. This is the repeat box here. You can tell that we don't have to go all the way back down to row 5. We come to row 17, and we start working the repeats. Now, the repeats I'm going to do on a separate little video just so that you won't feel overwhelmed and you can catch up. So, and then another thing too, I also highlighted any symbols that I thought I would miss or that that were just a little different. So I did a little highlight, and you can do that. And then anywhere there was a long row of white boxes on her charts, white boxes representing it on the front, purl on the back. But if there was a long row, instead of every time I come to this row, or any row, stop and count 1, 2, and then you take your eye off the chart, and then you make a mistake. So the way I do it, I simply prepare the chart by go ahead and pre-counting any long row of white boxes. Just count them and put the number in there. That way, when I'm knitting, all I have to do is go yarn over, knit 6, yarn over, and then move on across. I don't have to sit there and go 1, 2, 3, get distracted and go, 1, 2. So that's how you need to prepare the chart. I'll take a good screenshot because I know I'm holding and talking this and moving it around. Don't worry, you'll have a nice screenshot of it, and then you can download it or copy it or whatever you do. All right, I think that's it. It's just time now to get ready. I'm just using basic yarn. You are welcome. Like I said, I use number 4 weight because this is, I call it my sweater weight yarn. I'm just at an age now, I cannot work with the smaller yarn, the thinner yarn, and the thinner needles. Too much going on in the body. OPP. Old people problems. And when I can still, but I want to still enjoy knitting and making and sharing with you. And if you're OPP, then I think you will, the number 4 weight gives us beautiful garments. They look nice. You can get a nice quality. You don't have to, you just get whatever that you'd like to work your shawls in. And I use a US number 9 needle. If you want a tighter fabric, you can use a US number 8. But number 9 gives nice drape to that number 4 weight yarn. I think that's it. As I said, this is chart 32. And there's nothing to do but work your 5-ridge garter tab. Look over in the comments. You'll see the link. And I will see you at row 5 as we get started on this beautiful, I think I ought to give this one a name. I'm going to call it, I thought about tiptoe through the tulips because I think the stitch looks like a tulip. Jay's Knit tiptoe through the tulips lace shawl. Back in just a moment. All right, so I have shared the shawl and I have shared with you how to prepare your chart. Of course, I'm going to take a good screenshot of the chart in case you don't have the book so that you can follow along with me. I just had the chart enlarged so that I will be able to see it and read it with my old eyes, and that you can too. All right, so let's see, is there anything else? We know what yarn we're working with. I'm working with the number 9 needle just to give it a nice drape. And as I said before, this yarn is just a little thinner than the sweater weight shawl. I just thought it'd be nice to show you how it looks in just a lighter weight. Lighter number 4 or number 3. But still on my number 9 needles. Alright, you have worked the garter ridge tab. We've established that. I'll put the link where you find that. And you are ready to work row 5. That's where you're always to wait for me there until we change the garter tab. So we're still working, like I said, Melissa Leitman's book, and I did my own version of starting with the 5-ridge garter tab. Alright, so row 5, when you look, now, I don't know how much you can see of this one, but on your screenshot, row 5 is simply pretty much blank. So let's just go ahead and let me start working and remind you again of the increases. Before we even start that, everyone's garter tab should, I just like to do this because it's just neat. Okay, you should have 4 stitches here to represent a border, 4 stitches on this side. And in the garter tab, we've already increased in the shawl section. So now I have 1, 2, 3, 4 in the shawl section right there. And on this side, see, everything matches. On this side, I have 4 stitches. I have a 4-stitch border, then 4 stitches for the chart. 4-stitch border, 4 stitches for the shawl, not chart, shawl. Then right here in the center, everyone should have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 represents row 5, the right side on the chart. Now we can get ready to go. Alright, so let me put my needle in. Alright, for the border, I just knit the 4 stitches. So I am just going to knit those 4 stitches, just like this. When I get to my marker, I am on the right side, of course, and on this shawl, we will be increasing, of course, on the right and wrong side. You saw that when you did the garter tab. So now look, I see the first marker. I'm going to slide the marker. Now, the first thing I see is that long yarn over, remember? And in that again, we knit 1, stop, yarn over the needle. Now go back under and knit it again. And then knit the other stitches till you come to the next marker. Now I have a white marker that represents the chart. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Alright, on row 5, all you have to do is just yarn over, slide the marker, then you do your first yarn over. This is what grows the chart. And now you're just going to knit 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And at the end of every beginning and end of every right side row, now I need to yarn over again, slide the marker, okay, hold that yarn over in place on this side of the marker right there, and then I knit the next stitches up to the next marker. And when I get to that last stitch, look, it's another long yarn over. So I have to knit 1, stop, okay, then yarn over, and then go up under the strand and knit it again. So that's when you turn 1 stitch into 3. Slide the last marker, which is just the border marker, and I knit on every row. 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, row 5 was pretty easy. Okay, of course, row 6, the even numbers are the wrong side in these charts. Like I said, you always need to read what the designer put. We are just purling. So I will simply turn the work. I will knit the border stitches on every row. 1, 2, 3, 4. That stays the same. And then, well, because we do have to do an increase, why don't I go ahead and do it? I just almost forgot myself. So now when I turn the work, because we have increases on the shawl, not on the chart, so I'm going to knit the 4 stitches that represent the border. And we're on the wrong side, so I slide the marker. Now on the wrong side, we simply do a yarn over and purl. So when I yarn over the needle, stop, I have to go around again to come so that I'm in the front of the needle. So now I can purl the next 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, see how fast it grows? I've got 6 stitches already. Okay, so now I can finish that, and I can slide the marker in the chart section right there between my 2 white markers. All I have to do is purl the stitches on the wrong side. We don't have to work any pattern on this chart. A reminder in your book is chart 32. Okay, so now I just purl up to the last stitch. I slide this marker here to represent the end of the chart. Now I continue to purl up to the border marker because I need to make an increase right before I do the border. So I go up, take my time, slow down. I'm up to the last stitch and I'm going to purl it. Now stop. I need a yarn over because there's a yarn over on this side. Whenever you're in the purl position, you're already in the yarn over position. So I simply slide the marker, stick my needle in the next stitch. I'm in the yarn over position. Hold it on this side again and just knit 1, 2, 3, and 4. Ooh, my yarn is just sliding all over tonight. Well, I'm on these metal needles. You know, I'm not used to them. I don't know why I'm on here. Okay, so now when I turn the work, when I turn it, I see that my yarn overs, my increases are really showing up. Can you see them? All right, that was row 6, the wrong side. So when I turn the work, I will be on row 7. So let you catch up, and I will see you on row 7, the right side. All right, we are back, and we are on row 7, the right side. And if you look at your screenshot, at the chart, it's just like row 5. There's nothing really to do but yarn over, and then we're going to knit across and end with the yarn over. We just have to make sure that we do all of the increases for the chart. So we haven't been really working too hard yet. So I'm going to knit my 4 stitches. Just going to go ahead and do it with you. This first go around, we got 32 rows. But it will go fast. All right, I get to the first marker, I slide the marker, and I see the long yarn over. See, everything's just falling into step now. You know what to do. You knit, stop, yarn over, and knit it again, because we're on the right side. Then I just simply keep knitting over to the chart. Just knit over just like this. I come to my white markers that I know right away I'm at the chart, and as I said, it's just knit across. So I do have to slide the marker, do the yarn over, and then knit the stitches across to the next marker. So this has a really pretty little top. You don't go right into the pattern, so I think that's really pretty. Okay, I get up to the last stitch. I sure to knit it, and then you have to end with a yarn over on every right side row. End and begin with a yarn over. So I'm yarning over to end, slide the marker. Now I can hold that yarn over in place on this side. Now continue to knit up so that we can up to the next to the border marker, so we can increase the shawl. When I get there, I see the long yarn over again. Knit one, stop, yarn over, and then go in and knit it again. Slide the marker, and I have 4 stitches left to knit. Okay. That was row 7. Let me turn it so that we can see it, and you can see the yarn overs. Look at that. Isn't that pretty? A nice pretty beginning. And look, there's no lump or hump or bump. It's nice and smooth so far. So that was row 7, the right side. Now row 8, of course, is the wrong side, and you simply work increases for the shawl. On the wrong side, we simply do the yarn over and then purl all the stitches. All right, when we're ready, when we catch up with each other, we will be on row 9, the right side, and we will finally get to do some of the pattern. Row 9, right side. I will see you in just a moment. Just like that. All right, I am back, and we are ready to knit row 9, the right side. And if you just happen to, lose your place, you can always go and count your yarn overs to tell where you are. So it tells you how many yarn overs you have done, so you can count those in case you kind of get lost. But I am on row 9, and I am not lost. I am ready to go because I'm excited. All right, let's go. Row 9, because we finally have some pattern. So, of course, we have to go ahead and start. As we start to go up higher, I'll just do this part off camera. But I just want to do it a few more times until everyone's ready to stretch and go. All right, there's that long yarn over. So I knit 1 stitch, stop, yarn over, go back in and knit the second part. Knit it again. Now I continue to knit over so I can get to the chart, because that's all that we need to do to grow the grow the shawl. This is the shawl that I'm knitting in right now. You see how much it has grown already. See how fast this goes on the chart? And I'm still holding back a little bit because I want to make sure I do it right. All right, I am up to my chart markers. I'm using white ones so that I can know right away. I slide the marker. All right, the first thing I have to do when I reach the chart, beginning and the end, you have to yarn over. So I slide the marker. Now look, I yarn over, and let's go. Let's read it together. Knit 1. Then there's a symbol leaning to the right, so that's a knit 2 stitches together. Yarn over. Oh, there's my 3 friends in the center. I knit 1, 2, and 3. We'll talk about landmarks later. Now, After I knit those 3, I yarn over. There's a symbol now leaning to the left, so I need to slip the traditional way if you want to. Slip, and then reach back and knit. Then you have knit 1 stitch right there. And guess what? You're not done until you do what? You have to yarn over, slide the marker. Now I'm in the shawl section. We just finished a chart. Now you have to hold that yarn over on this side of the marker. So now I hold it and then I knit up to the next marker. And I have to make an increase before that marker. So I knit right up. And I see the long yarn over. Can you see it? All right, let's do knit into it, stop, do a yarn over, bring the yarn around, and then knit into it again. You knit 1, then bring the yarn around, and then knit into it. Oops, I think I got tangled. I was talking, so let me just back out. All you gotta do is just back out. If you think, oh, did I do it? I'm going to pull it all the way out. Okay, there's the long yarn over, knit, bring the loop through, then yarn over and then knit it again. There you go. I was talking, I don't think I brought the loop through. Now all I have to do is slide the marker because I'm on the right side, and I just knit the border on every row. And if I hadn't been trying to talk and knit too, that would have been a perfect row. So that's what we have so far, and that's what you should have so far when you turn it and you hold it and look at it. We just knit row 9. Row 10 is the wrong side. You're knitting this direction, and all you have to do is make your shawl increase stitches, and then just purl back, and then I will meet you on row 11. All right, back in just a minute. All right, I am back and we are ready to work row 11. Now, let's stop and just remind you on row 11 we have a symbol, a new symbol or symbol that we need to check, either the key, the designer's key, legend, or abbreviation section, because these symbols, you know, sometimes they're used the same and then sometimes they're not. So you always have to check. And they'll always add it somewhere, or like I say, you look in the somewhere in the book for the key, the legend, or abbreviation. So this symbol has a line and 2 little marks, and she wants us to slip 1, slip a second one, and slip a 3rd stitch, and then turn and knit those stitches. So it's a slip, 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 knit. Instead of a slip, slip, knit, you're going to slip 3 times. So that should be something to kind of wake us up. All right, so let me, like I said, I will stop doing this on camera, but I just feel like I just want to make sure that everybody's comfortable, everyone's remembering the steps. You know to increase on the wrong side. I've stopped that. All right, so now slide the marker. I have the long yarn over. I knit the stitch, pull the loop through, stop. Yarn over, go back and knit it again. Now I just knit over to my chart. See, we are kind of getting momentum now. It's kind of muscle memory after a while, except when you get to the chart, of course. You never know what twists and turns. Like a novel, like a mystery book. That's why I love knitting the chart so. Okay, I get to the marker for the chart, row 11. I slide the marker. Now, I start the row with a yarn over, and then let's read it. It says knit 1, leaning to the right, knit 2 stitches together, yarn over, knit 1. Look at where that knit 1 falls. That's going to be probably a landmark. Then there's a yarn over, and this is the landmark where this. It's probably going to be hard to see right now, but there's 3 stitches. So you're going to slip, 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 stop, turn, and go back and stick the left hand needle in front, just like that, and knit those 3 stitches all together. Alright, then a yarn over, knit 1, falls in the same place as the other yarn over. Then yarn over again. Now I have a symbol leaning to the left, and that's just a slip, slip, knit. Just slip 2. There you go. And then there's a knit 1. See it? And then, of course, I'm not done until I yarn over, slide the marker. Now I continue. I'm going to hold that yarn over on this side. I will continue to knit up to the next marker so that I can make my shawl increase. Just like this. So now I just going up, get here. I'm going to look for that long yarn over. There it is, right there. Needle in, knit, bring the loop through, stop. Yarn over the needle, knit it again, slide the marker, and knit. Okay. Oh, what a pretty, pretty stitch this is going to be. Alright, now when I turn the work, okay, I hope you're not forgetting, you have to do this increase. Sometimes I'll just test you to make sure, like you can go, oh Jay, because if you don't do it, you'll know it because you won't have a long yarn over on the right side. You won't have anything. And of course you can pick it up, you can fix it, but let's go ahead. I'm on the wrong side now. This means I'm on row 12. Okay, now I need to slide the marker and make that yarn over increase on the wrong side. Just a reminder. Alright, you yarn over, then I come back to the front of the needle so that I can purl these stitches. I need to be in the purl position on the wrong side. Got a little tangle up here. Sometimes you have to untangle some of the stitches. They will get tangled, but everything is just fine. So now I'm going to purl over till I get, I'll just go ahead and do this one more time to make sure you don't forget. We are increasing on the front of the shawl and on the back, the wrong side also. So I'll just purl along. And I get up to my white markers. Now I know I'm in the chart section, but on the wrong side. Row 12, all I have to do is slide the marker and continue to purl across, to purl the stitches, just like that. I just want to establish a rhythm so that you will be able to you will know immediately, like, oh, something feels off or something. Okay, I come up to the next marker. I purled all the stitches that were in the chart because that's what her pattern says to do. And now I continue to purl up to the next marker. And I will have to do an increase on this wrong side when I get right before the border. Isn't it nice? Those who did get the book, you have the information written out. And you see, it would just take too much time, and I don't even think that would be right to sit there and rewrite try to write all the rows. And that's why I'm trying to get you to feel excited and more comfortable reading charts and knitting from the chart. Okay, I'm coming up on the wrong side. I knit the last stitch before the marker, but stop. What do I need to do? I need to make a yarn over to increase. So I'm already in the yarn over position because I purled that stitch. So I'm going to just slide the marker, stick my needle into the next stitch there, hold this yarn over on this side. Now go ahead and just knit the last 4 stitches. Trying to get you to just not even worry about it, that you will just fall into the rhythm and remember to do it. And there you have rows 11, the right side, and row 12, the wrong side. And guess what? That puts us on row 13. So catch up, and I will see you on row 13. I am back. We are on the right side. I'm already made my way up to the chart, which will start saving us time, and we will be able to move a little faster. So here I am. Here's the shawl. I'm in the shawl. I knit on up to the chart marker. I have 2 white markers. Once I slide the marker, now I'm on the right side, row 13, and let's go. It says yarn over, and as I've shared with you how to pre-number when you have long rows of blank boxes, since in our knitting, a blank box represents knit on the front and purl on the back. So I've already counted. Now you can start seeing how easy, and you won't have, a lot of mistakes because it's already counted. You don't have to take your eye off the chart, in other words. All right, let's start. I'm sorry, row 13, I yarn over. Now I'm going to knit 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. See, I didn't have to take my eye. I could just keep moving. Then I yarn over. Now there's our symbol that represents 3 slip stitches, and then you turn and knit them. So there's the next 3 stitches right there. 1, 2, 3. So I'm going to slip, slip, and slip all 3. Take my left hand needle, go back and put it in front of all 3 of those stitches. And my yarn is a little splitty, so if you have splitty yarn, you just have to make sure. Okay, got it. Then knit all 3 together. We're right here at this symbol. After the symbol, there's a yarn over, and then, as you can see, I've marked 6. So, I'm sorry, right here, I marked 5. So I knit the last 5 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. But I'm not done until I yarn over right there, slide the marker. Now I continue on knitting the shawl and doing my increase. Okay, so now I will continue off camera so that we can get more done. As I knit across on row 13, row 14 is the wrong side. I will do the appropriate stitches and increases on the wrong side, and I will see you back at row 15. Back in just a minute. All right, I am back. I've been off camera. I've been laughing at some things. I've been laughing at myself. Sometimes you need to stop people and just laugh at yourself. I'm not going to tell the joke. I need to get on with this chart. I don't want to mess up. Maybe I'll tell you the story a little later. All right, so we're on row 15, the right side. I am ready to go. I'm already up to the chart, so I slide the marker. I yarn over. Now, I've already pre-counted, so I see that I need to knit 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Okay, now yarn over, stop, landmark. There's that little stitch right there that we need to slip 3 and then turn around and knit those 3 together. So that's a prominent landmark because there's the 3 stitches. If you left a yarn over off somewhere, you won't have those 3 stitches, won't line up. So that's why it's a good landmark. So here we go. I did a yarn over. Now I'm going to slip 1, 2, and 3. Now I'm going to turn and take my left needle and go in the front of all 3 of those stitches, and then just knit them together. And then don't forget there's a yarn over after that stitch, And now I should have 6 stitches left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I knit the 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And of course I have to end the row when I'm working the chart with the yarn over, slide the marker, and hold it in place and continue to knit up the shawl and make my increase. Now how easy is that? See, it's getting easier now. Okay. Now maybe if I turn it this way so you can see the landmark too. See that center stitch? That made a nice little landmark for us to work from. Alright, now we just finished row 15, which of course is the right side, and 16. We simply do the appropriate stitches and increases, and I will meet you back on row 17. Now, let's not get confused. You see the dark box. That is the repeat box. But what I like about these particular charts that she has, you have to work all the way, all the way up to row 32, and then come down, and then we will start repeating. So you don't have to worry about any repeats now, but you know you will be able to find and know exactly, and then we're going to highlight it like I share with you how I do it. But right now, all we are doing is just knitting every right side row all the way up to row 32. When we get to row 32, we will purl and then come back and start the repeat process. But I'm going to separate the videos. So this video will contain all the stitches up all the way. Then on the next video, I will put, okay, we'll start repeating, because repeating takes more concentration, and so that you don't forget any yarn overs. And you can see this chart is there's quite a bit on here. It's not hard, but there's a lot of information and a lot of stitches. So I will see you back at row 17 after I work across row 16. All right, take your time. Don't lose any yarn overs, and you will be just fine. All right, so I am back, and we are ready to work row 17. And now I have already worked up to the chart. This way I can just now start concentrating on knitting the chart. You know the increases, right side and wrong side. So now I'm knitting up to my chart. Let me kind of move back in the camera, okay? So I get to the marker, I slide the marker, and row 17 of our chart reads, okay, now yarn over, knit 2. 1, 2, yarn over, then there is a slip, because it's leaning to the left, slip, knit. Then knit 1, and notice where that knit 1 will fall, knit 1. Then I have a symbol leaning to the right, so now I knit 2 stitches together, then yarn over, then knit 3, and look at where the knit 3 falls. This knit 3 right here. We're right on row 17. You just start noticing where things fall so that we'll be working from landmarks when we start to repeat. So now I have that yarn over, now I'm going to knit 3. 1, 2, and 3, and then I'm going on across the row, yarn over, then again slip, slip, knit, knit 1, then we knit 2 stitches together just like this, yarn over, I end with a knit 2, 1, 2, but I have to remember to do the last yarn over, slide the marker. Now hold that yarn over in place, kind of this side of the marker. Now I start working the shawl, working up to the other marker so that I can do my increase on the right side. All right, so now that was row 17 of our tiptoe through the tulips. I think that's what I'm going to call it. Tiptoe through the tulip shawl. All right, so now when we turn the work, we will of course be on row 18, and we will proceed as we have been working. We purl the stitches, but make the appropriate increases on the wrong side. I will see you back on the chart at row 19, right side. Back in just a moment. All right, I am up, and hopefully you are too. Row 19 of the chart. I worked over, but before we start, when I see a row that's really long and there's a lot of work to be done, I go ahead and check the row and see if there's any stitches that I have not worked before. And yes, we have a key down here, and there's a little symbol. Just look at the symbol, and then you can find it. It was almost hard to see, but on row 19, I did find it once here and again here. Okay? And so that's going to make me kind of go through the chart and see if there's any more. And way up here on 27, there it is again. So what I'm going to do, I already know the other symbol, but this is one that's new and that I didn't even kind of hard to see. So I'm going to put a highlight right there in the key to remind me. And then I'm going to highlight it right here on the chart. I'm just going to put a little highlighter. And then I looked up here again. I just went through, carried my eyes, skimmed over, and I see it again on row 27. So that I don't get up here and go, oh, I didn't put the wrong. And you can take time and look again. I don't think I saw it anywhere else. Sometimes you just have to look because your eyes plays trick with all these squares and symbols. All right, so now I know that on row 19, I will look down here. That little symbol will represent slip 2 stitches, knit 1, and pass the slip 2 slip stitches over and off. Of course, we'll do it now as we get up to, we are on row, I said 17, I'm sorry, row 19. We are on the right side, row 19. You ready? Okay, I hope I'm in camera range. All right. Let's go. So I'm coming up to my chart marker right here. So now I am going to slide the marker, and of course on the chart the first thing I have to do is make a yarn over. Now I can proceed across the row. Knit 1, and then there's a stitch, the symbol leaning to the left, so there's a slip, slip, knit. So I do that. Then there is a yarn over, knit 1, yarn over, and then there's that symbol. Okay, and it's going to require 3 stitches. So I look ahead and I say, okay, there's 3 stitches there, and I'm going to slip 2, then knit 1. Now I'm going to take my time and reach back and pass each slip stitch over and off the needle. Now, right after that symbol, we have a yarn over, and that brings us right to the center, I believe, of the chart. Here's my yarn over. After the yarn over, we have a knit 1, then another yarn over. Now, the next symbol is the symbol we were doing slip, 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 knit. And it should be 3 stitches again. So there's my 3 stitches lined up, ready to go. See it right there? And there's a symbol right there. So I slip 1, 2, 3, turn my needle, come back and go through the front of all 3 of those stitches like that, and then knit them together. Alright, now after that symbol, it was a yarn over before the symbol. I did the symbol, now yarn over, and I proceed across the row. Then knit 1, yarn over. Now here's a new symbol again. I need 3 more stitches. We're right here where I had it, the highlight. Alright, there's a yarn over. Now I need to do slip 2, knit 1, reach back and pass each slip stitch over and off. Then there's a yarn over, then there's a knit 1, yarn over, and the symbol leaning to the left again is a slip, slip, knit, knit 1, and I have to end row 19 with a yarn over, slide the marker, and then I hold that yarn over in place, and now I just knit up the shawl and do the appropriate increase when I get to the marker, just like this. Okay. All right, let's take a look. All right. Okay, now that was the right side, row 19. Row 20, of course, is the wrong side. We just do the appropriate stitching there. And I will meet you back at row 21, and I'm going to slide my marker, my pointer, see if there's any strange symbols. No, everything we've done before. And of course you see that I have already marked all those spaces so that I don't have to take time and take my eye off the chart and then mess my stitches up. Alright, back at row 21. Alright, I am back and we are ready to work row 21. Of course it's the right side, so I've knitted up to my chart. I'm at the chart, I slide my chart marker. Now let's go. First, of course, we have to start with a yarn over, then knit 1, then yarn over. All right, the symbol now, the next symbol is the SSSK stitch. So we're going to, and you'll notice there are 3 stitches there waiting for us, 3 friends. So I'm going to slip 1, 2, and 3. Then I turn my left-hand needle, go back, go into the front. Now knit those 3 stitches all together, just like that. Then yarn over, and I've already counted my boxes, so all I have to do is knit 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That way I don't have to take my eye off the chart and lose my place. Yarn over. Now there's the same symbol again. Let's look for the 3 stitches. There they are. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so I slip 1, 2, and I slip all 3. Now go back and put the left hand needle in front of all 3. I have a split yarn, so I got to go back and do it. There you go. And then knit those 3 together, just like that. Alright, now yarn over. Now outside, right over here, we have knit 5 again. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Then we have a yarn over, and guess what? We have that same symbol again. So I'm going to look for the 3 friends. There they are. 1, 2, 3. So I'm going to slip all 3. 1, 2, 3. Turn around and knit all 3, or put the needle in all 3. Now I'm going to knit them together. Okay, and the next thing I need to do is yarn over, knit 1. That's the last stitch, and then of course I have to yarn over at the end of the row. So I yarn over, slide the marker. Guess what? Hold that yarn over in place on this side of the marker, and we're off to knit this side of the shawl. Remember, this section is growing as the chart is growing. The shawl is growing, the chart is growing. So that's what we turn, and we can see our first bundle of tulips, or our first 2 tulips right there. Alright, so now, of course, row 22, the wrong side, so just we just purl back and make the appropriate increases on the shawl. I will see you at row 23 of the chart. Back in just a moment. We are moving right along. I am up, and hopefully you are too, to row 23, the right side of chart number 32. We're working out of Melissa Leitman's book. I'm doing my modified version of her chart so that we who are older and shorter and fluffier and can't wear the long big shawls, we can still enjoy the stitch too. Alright, so just throwing that in there. Alright, so now I'm up to the chart. I slide the marker. Row 23 says yarn over, of course, to start. Then I knit 2. 1, 2, yarn over. There's our symbol again, and there's our 3 friends. 1, 2, 3. Alright, slip, slip, slip 3 stitches. Now turn around with the left hand needle and go back in. And go in through the front. My yarn is splitting. There we go. Now knit those 3 stitches together. Really easy. Now there's a yarn over, and again I need to knit 5 because I've already pre-counted. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, then there's a yarn over. I need 3 more stitches to do the slip 1, 2, 3, knit them again. This is like the row we just did. I am on 23, so I know I'm on the right row. Oh, sometimes you'll have a row almost exact. Alright, then after I finish that symbol, the 3 slip stitches, I do a yarn over. Now I'm over on this side here, and I'm going to knit 5 because I've already pre-counted. So, knit 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Yarn over. I need to look for those 3 stitches together again. There they are. 1, 2, 3. I'm going to slip 1, 2, 3. Go back in the front. Now knit them together. Then there's a yarn over. This time we have to end with a knit 2. There's 2 boxes there. So knit 1, 2, yarn over, slide the marker. Now I'm on my way up. Hold that yarn over in place. This one wants to slide, kind of sneak over. So knit 1, 2. Now we're just knitting up the shawl. Alright, so now of course we just finished row 23 on the right side going this direction. Row 24 is the wrong side, so we purl back, making the appropriate increases. I will see you now at row 25 of the chart. Look how fast we're moving. And just think, if you were just sitting at home, you'd just whiz through this. Alright, back at row 25. Row 25 looks nice and clean and easy, so I don't think we're going to have any kind of problem there. Row 25, the right side of the chart, I slide the marker. Here we go. Yarn over, knit 1. Then the first symbol I see is leaning to the right, so that's knit 2 stitches together. Yarn over, and then knit 3. They're my 3 friends. 1, 2, 3. So I knit 1, 2, and 3. Alright. Yarn over. Alright, the next symbol here is leaning to the left. So I'm going to slip 2 stitches, reach back, and just knit those. Slip, slip, knit. Alright, then I have a knit 1. You can see where it falls. It falls somewhere in the center of something. So I knit 1, and then the next stitch leans to the right again. So I'm going to knit the next 2 stitches together. Then there's a yarn over, and I'm back to my 3 friends. Knit 3. There they are. 1, 2, and 3. Alright, so now then there's a yarn over. Again, a repeat of slip, slip, knit. Knit 1, the center right there. Knit 2 stitches together. See, we have not started the repeats yet, so it's knit 2 stitches together, yarn over, and then you can see I have 3 boxes here. 1, 2, 3. After that, yarn over, don't forget it. Yarn over, then you knit 1, 2, and 3. Then yarn over. Then there's slip, slip, knit, knit 1 stitch, and then you make the last yarn over. Slide the marker. I'm going to hold it in place, and then I am going to start knitting up the shawl side. So I'm just going to knit a few stitches, stop, and we'll turn around and take a look. Alright, so now we're starting another row, I believe, of the tulip stitch. That's what I'm calling it. Don't look like when you start out you can't quite make it out, but it will pop in just a bit. We worked across row 25, so 26 wrong side. I will see you at row 27 of the chart. Alright, so I am back and we are ready to work row 27, which is a nice long row, and we've already prepared the row and we highlighted some different symbols just so that we will remember. So row 27, here's the chart. It starts with a yarn over, knit 1, then it leans to the right, so I'm going to knit 2 stitches together, yarn over, knit 1 right there, then there's a second yarn over. Now we're up to this symbol that we do the 3 slip stitches. So check and see if you have 3 stitches there. Yes, I do. So I'm going to slip, 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 then turn and go back, go through the front of all 3. I think I dropped one, so let me go back, and then knit those 3 stitches together just like that. Alright, then after that symbol right here there is a yarn over. These yarn overs come so quick you'll just run right past one. Then there's a knit 1, yarn over. Now the second symbol that we have to look for is where we slip 2, 1, 2, reach back and knit 1 stitch. Now go back and pass each slip stitch over and off. And guess what? There's a yarn over after that. Now we should be towards the center. So I'm going to knit 1, then yarn over. Alright, we're back to the first symbol again, where we're going to slip 3. 1, 2, 3. We're right here. 1, 2, 3. We're going to slip those 3 stitches. Then we're going to put our needle back through. And we're going to knit those 3 stitches together just like that. And then stop because there's a yarn over right after the symbol. Right there. So many, so many. Take your time. Now we're here. Knit 1. After that yarn over, you knit 1. Then yarn over. Alright, there's the symbol again where we're going to slip 2, knit 1, reach back and pass both slip stitches over and off. Alright, now yarn over. Now knit 1, yarn over, have the symbol, the first symbol again. We need 3 stitches. We're going to slip 1, 2, 3. Now turn and reach back and pick up all 3 and knit them together just like that. Then there's a yarn over, stop. Now we're up to a knit 1. Then there's a yarn over. Now the last symbol right here is leaning to the left, so we want to slip, slip, knit, slip, slip, knit. And guess what? We have 1 stitch left, so we knit that 1 stitch, and then we add our own, the last yarn over, slide the marker, Knit one, pass the marker. Now breathe. now, now we can just knit up the chart. Now we can just knit on this side chart. Wait, I'm going to get up here and I'm going to stop. Oh gosh, okay. It's not a hard chart. You just don't want to leave any yarn over off because that will mess up the next row. Alright, so let's just stop though. Take a look. I'll turn it. Now for all that trouble, I don't see that much. And you may not either, but it's working. Everything is working in its own time and its own way. You will see the pattern pop out the more we go. But let's just stop and take a look. We just finished row 27. You can see all the yarn overs. In fact, let's count them. 1, 2, 3. That's a good way to you can always check and see if you left off one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and the last one is 14. Did I count the first one? Let's go back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 yarn overs. So you can always, and you know how to look for the yarn overs. It's that stitch that just lays across the needle like that. Can you see it? How it just slants across the needle. So you can always count them. 1, 2, 3, and you can count across if you think you may have gotten distracted or someone interrupted or something. You think, did I do all the yarn overs? Without tinking back, just count the yarn overs. There should be 14. Whew, okay. So now, row 28 is the wrong side. We purl back, do all the appropriate increases on the shawl. I will see you at row 29 of the chart. It's a lot easier, I believe. All right, take care. Back in just a minute. Well, I can see the light at the end of the tunnel. Well, the first tunnel. All right, we are on the right side of the chart. We are ready to work row 29. So I slide the marker and let's go. This is a much cleaner, freer row than the row we just did on 27. Okay, you can see a lot more white boxes. All right, so of course we start out with a yarn over, and I've already pre-counted. So see, it says knit 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Then there is a yarn over, and then our 3 slip stitches. You can see the 3 stitches right there that we're going to use. So we slip 1, 2, 3, reach back, pick them all up. Now knit those 3 together. Then of course there's a yarn over. Stop. Now I have knit 5 because I've already counted. Don't have to count again. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Yarn over. All right, we have the same symbol. There are the 3 stitches waiting that we can use. So I slip 1, 2, 3, reach back, grab all 3, just like that. Then knit those 3 together. And after that symbol, don't forget there's a yarn over. And guess what? We knit 5 again. We're right here on this side now. Now we just knit 5 after the yarn over. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then there is a yarn over. Here's the symbol again. Look for the 3 stitches together. There they are. 1, 2, 3. All right. Slip, slip, slip. Those are my 3 friends. They always make a great landmark to keep me on track. So I knit those my 3 friends together. Then there is a yarn over. And lo and behold, look here. There's knit 5 again. Okay, let's go ahead and count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, just to be sure. There's 5 stitches left, so let's knit them. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And of course, we make the last yarn over to finish the row on chart on this row 29. So once I make the yarn over, see it? I just yarn over, slide the marker, put my needle in there. You have to hold this one. You always have to hold this one on this side, otherwise it wants to jump across the marker. So now I can just start knitting up the shawl all the way to the next marker. That will tell me where to put my increase. We are increasing on the right side of the shawl and on the wrong side. On the chart, we only have to increase on the right side. Get a little confusing, but once you get the rhythm of it, you're in business. All right. So, there we go. We have just finished. Can't really make out the next nice row of tulips yet, but they're there. So, I will work off camera, row 30. You just purl back, make the appropriate increases, and guess what? We're at row 31, the last pattern row. And look, it's pretty clean too. I don't think we'll have any problems. All right, I'll work the wrong side and I will be back shortly. Looky, looky, we are up to our last pattern row on this chart that we have been working out of Melissa Leekman's Knitting Modular book, chart number 32. And row 31, of course, is the right side, so I slide my marker. Now look, really easy and shouldn't have any problems. You yarn over, and I've pre-counted, so I knit 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. All right, then there's a yarn over, and we have our symbol to slip 3 stitches. They're my 3 friends, so I slip 1, 2, 3, turn and reach back, and we're going to go in front and knit those 3 stitches together, just like that. And there's a yarn over. Now, here, all I have to do is knit 5, because I've counted the boxes. So there's knit 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Then there's a yarn over. There's the stitch again, looking for my 3 friends. I slip 3, 1, 2, 3. I go in from the front, from the left side, knit those 3 together, and yarn over. Now on this side, I knit 5 again. I knit 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Make sure I get under there. And there's a yarn over. And our symbol again for our 3 friends. Right there. Says slip 3, 1, 2, 3. I'm going to turn and knit those 3 stitches together. Be sure to get all 3. Then yarn over. And look, we have to end the row with knit 6. So with that, after that yarn over, I knit 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And of course, we have to end the chart row with a yarn over, slide the marker, and I'm telling you, hold that yarn over in place. And now I'm working up on this side of the shawl, working to my increase marker. Just like this. Well, I've come this far. Let me go on because I want to show you something. Let's see how fast I can, so I don't have to change. Oops. Drop the stitch. Just back out. Pick it up. Get enough yarn. And continue up this side of the shawl. hope you are enjoying it again, those who are on board with me as we knit from the charts. We're just going to just see how the year goes. I have so many things I want to get done this year. I just hope, I hope I'm able to do them. And I'm trying to, pull in things that, because I find myself leaning more towards seniors because I'm a senior now. A senior, and look, I want all the perks. I want all the perks. I was up at Walmart the other day. I just couldn't. My back was about gone. I just grabbed the first young person I saw. Our Walmart is not far from a college, a big college, so there's a lot of, college kids working there. I just said, hey, can you just go get my car? He could have just drove off with my car and went to they were really sweet. He went and got my car and brought the car around and he put the groceries in. I said, thank you. He said, do you need any help? I said, no, I'm good now. Thanks. All right, so I come up to the increase marker right there. I'm on the right side, so I know to do, I knit the stitch, stop, yarn over, and then knit it again. So there's a lot of college kids working at our particular Walmart. All right, so now, looky. Oh, let me move Bird out the way. Bird, we're going to need you to move you back. In fact, I'll move all this back so I can have a little room now. Let's see, so we can kind of spread out a little bit. And as you can see, I started with like a 29 inches in length when I started the project. But you can see we have filled up this needle. We have just finished row 5 all the way up to 31. Of course, the wrong side will be row 32, in which we will knit, we will purl back and then do the increases on the wrong side. But here is where I always forget to remind, especially newer knitters or just people who, hadn't thought of it. This is a great time when we change and go to turn on the wrong side, row 32, to do our purl. This is the time to change your needle. Here is a 936. This is a 929 in length. This one is a little longer, and it's a 936 inches. So I suggest you go ahead and change as we get ready to do row 32, the wrong side. It's a lot easier to change the needle when you don't have all this pattern and yarn overs and things you think you might, forget to do. We'll just take our time and purl all the stitches except the borders. And how easy is that? And of course, remember these, if you work on circular needles, the bamboo especially, they don't have memory. Once you coil them up, they want to stay that way, So I take mine to my ironing board. I lay a little cloth over it, get the iron hot. It don't have to be super hot, but hot enough you don't want to touch it. And just run that iron over that cloth on top of this cord. And just so that it loosens the cord just a little bit so that you can work with it. So see, now I can work with this cord. And all I'm going to do, just in case you're not sure, you just start on the wrong side. You're going to be working the stitches from this needle to this one. So of course I start with my border, 4 stitches. I just knit. You do just what you normally do. I knit the 4 stitches. Oh, we have to make that increase. We do have to do that. So I slide the marker. Now watch. I yarn over and then I come back to the front. You do that on the wrong side to make this first increase. And now I'm just going to purl all the way to the opposite end and make the increase on that side of the shawl. I'll do a little bit and then we'll stop. See if there's anything else I need to remind you before I let you have some time to catch up. And it's nothing wrong if you just watch the video at first. The tutorial says, let me just kind of watch and get a feel of it if you're not used to charts. But like I say, once you get the hang of it and you get into the rhythm and you understand there is a language for knitting. Every maybe section or whatever of knitting, each one has their own language. You got your regular knitting, then you have cable knitting, okay? You have the Fair Isle knitting. So each one has their own language, but it's all under the umbrella of knitting. But you do have to learn and practice and learn that stitches can be written in several different ways. One designer might use a symbol one way. Another designer may use it for a different stitch, or just invent one of her own. Just say, well, I'm just going to invent, But most designers, I think, try to help the everyday knitter, because, people who are high end, they're not buying other designers' books that much. It's us little people down here, us novice knitters that are buying, that you buy books and patterns. So it's to their best interest to try to, make it simple. All right, so let's stop for a moment now. So you see I'm simply purling from this needle to this one, and then I will make the increase. So when I come back and we start repeating, we will have room for all those extra stitches that and it's going to grow fast, even faster than what we've been doing. So, all right, let's see. I have covered everything for this tape, so I want to stop the tutorial here. This is episode 206, part 1, and I'm going to even start marking the thumbnails now. Some people can't seem to find each part, even though we write it in the show notes and we write it all over. So I'm going to put it see if he'll put it on the actual thumbnail. So this will be part 1, and I'm going to just call this the tulip stitch, just so that you can have some reference, so you'll know that, there's going to be other parts. So this will help you, I hope. I hope you've enjoyed this. I'm so glad you joined me, and I'm telling you, knitting off the charts is where it's at. It is fun. It's exciting. It's like a novel. It's got all kind of dips and heights and, twists and turns. And we're just scratching the surface. We hadn't even got into the hard charts. I know some of the people are like, gee, lady, that chart's not even hard. Well, for someone who's learning, it is. And I'm here to help you. So, this is Jay. This is Jay's Knit and Purl Jam. And we're knitting off the charts too. So to all my friends, everywhere, everyone. No, let's see. I hadn't said it in a long time, I forgot. Everyone, everywhere, every size. There we go. Everyone, everywhere, every size. Happy knitting. And this is just part 1, the stitch. All right? Take care and happy knitting. And I'll see you in part 2.